Hey YouTube, this is Pistol Pointer here, making another video, and this one's about buying a handgun and just kind of some considerations to take into account when you're trying to choose your first one or maybe just to add to your collection. First off, just want to say I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be an expert. Fairly avid shooter. You know, I try to go out once every week or two if the weather and time allow. A decent collection of, you know, handguns, rifles, and shotguns. Handguns are sort of my favorite to shoot at the time, but you know, it's hard to beat shooting clay pigeons with a 12 gauge. My buddies and I really like going out and just taking turns throwing them up there for each other and seeing how many we can get in a row. And you know, and then also, you know, watching Hickok 45's videos has really helped me get more into shooting, or at least go out more often. Seeing how he hits that steel, you know, really makes you want to get better. But you know, I really think he does a fantastic job. So this is sort of a shout out to him. You know, I won't even comment about his private range. You know, everybody knows, pretty awesome setup. If you haven't seen it, you should check out some of his videos. He's got, I think, around 600 videos or so the last time I looked. So keep you busy for quite a while watching some of those. And this video could really be separated into multiple videos. If you wanted to go into the depth, you know, on the pros and cons of different options you have. There's so many out there, and this is just a few examples of something you could go with. But you know, what's your primary reason for getting the handgun, I guess, is sort of the first question I ask myself, or maybe how I convince myself that I need another gun. You know, some of those reasons might be protection, maybe a training aid, recreation, maybe you just like to collect guns. So for protection, you know, that's going to have some categories that, you know, what's a good gun for protection. Again, we're not going to get into all the details of every, you know, possible thought process you could go into to pick a gun, but so, you know, protection, you might get it as a training aid for your primary carry or defensive gun. One possible training aid you might get is something to substitute like a 10mm custom 1911 that you really want to become proficient with. Now this isn't a 10mm. This is a 45, but just as an example, you know, 45s can add up too. But you know, so you have the 1911 platform, and of course, some of you may have heard of the Ruger 2245. All the controls are in the same locations as a 1911. You've got the slide release. You got the thumb safety. Just took it off. You got the magazine release. No grip safety on this one, but that should be sort of a subconscious thing that you're not really thinking about anyway. And then of course the grip angle matches a 1911 as well. So that's a possible training aid if you're into shooting 1911s or want to get better with them. Another one is if you're a revolver guy, maybe you've got an SP-101. Ruger makes a 22 unloaded there, little brother to the some of the 357 Magnum options. Boy, and that is dirty. I just took that out. I'm gonna clean it after the video. I should have cleaned it before the video, but anyway. So anyway, that gives you the same weight, size. Of course, you got the fiber optic front sight, which most of the carry ones don't have, but it makes it fun to shoot. And for me, shootability is pretty key. So anyway, there's a couple 22 options. Other guys will go with 22 conversion kits, and I've kind of been down that road and didn't have a lot of luck as far as reliability. You know, and then another note, if you're a Glock user, there's pretty much every caliber a Glock is offered in a Glock, I should say. I just go with the 9mm. That is the Glock 19, and it's a sweet gun as far as an all-around gun for carry, for home defense, and just shootability, taking it out to the range. That's a great option. I've really been happy with it. I won't go into all the detail into the Glock spiel. I'm sure you guys have heard it all before, but I've really liked mine. In fact, I liked it so much I replaced a couple of my other carry guns with the Glock 26, and I'll tell you the reason I got it. I can shoot it all day long, and it's easy to carry. I tried the Kel-Tec P3AT, tried the Diamondback DB380, and maybe I was just cursed with 380. Kel-Tec functioned flawlessly. I did not like shooting it. And the Diamondback, I liked the way it felt when it shot, but it didn't shoot very often. It was sort of a single shot pistol. I had to cycle the slide every time. But that Glock, you can just keep going with it. Anyways, that might be sort of a caliber consideration, a training aid. You know, and then there's recreation shooting, which for me, training and recreation, target shooting, it's all sort of the same. You're all, you know, just trying to improve your skills. And I suppose hunting falls into that too. If you, you know, if you do some pistol bore hunting, that type of thing. Another one is just collecting. Maybe you just like that cool factor. You've always wanted one. You saw it in a movie. And hey, you know, if you think it's cool, that's cool. But yeah, if your primary protection, or primary reason, I should say, for buying a handgun is protection, seems like there's sort of subcategories or things to think about. Like I mentioned, there's caliber. Is it considered a viable self-defense round? And we're not even going to go into that debate. There's size. You know, do you plan to carry it like this one, or maybe you're going to keep it in your nightstand like this one, or you know, maybe this one. Then there's the type or style. You've got semi-autos and revolvers. You got single action, double action. As far as trigger pulls, of course, the 1911, you've got the single action, and then well, we won't go into the Glock trigger mechanism, but you got double action, single action. Then safeties. You know, if you want a lot of safeties, and I keep picking this one up, but this is the epitome of, you've got the great grip safety, thumb safety, you've got a hammer block safety, and they're all more or less, you know, manually operated. You've got to engage that safety, and you've got to either activate or deactivate that safety. So that's a consideration. Where the Glock, you know, the safeties are all you know, internal, except for the little tab here, but you don't have to think about it. There's nothing to disengage or to swipe or press, or you know, before you fire, you just pull and shoot. Some guys like that, some guys don't. And then of course the revolver, you've got that long double action trigger. That's your safety, and I'll tell you, this is a heavy one too. We're probably pushing 14 pounds on this one compared to the single action, which is pretty crisp. And you know, the biggest consideration of all in my mind is how many handguns do you plan on owning? If the answer is many, I wouldn't even stress over, you know, which gun you're going to buy next.